Hey there, everybody! Welcome to our preview for the Blacklist, Season 8, Episode 5, entitled The Freeborg Confidence, or Freeborg. I want to say it's Freeborg because that sounds more like Star Trek, but no matter what,
Freiburg.
there's some Borging going on in this episode, apparently. But based on the promo that we just saw, why aren't they just calling this the Freelancer conclusion? Because that's the actual thing I'm excited about now.
Yeah, for sure. We've got a Blacklister back from the past.
Okay, we're going to try to talk through this, which I was genuinely surprised by, and also pick up the pieces of, like, where in the world is Elizabeth King going from here? Like, what is her end game? How is this season going to look? But before we do, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, because we already tried our best to go through all of the craziness from episode 4 tonight. And yet, there's a lot of craziness.
And also follow us on Instagram at Matt and Jess TV. We've got some cool pictures from the weekend. We did the 15-hour potato. It turned out to be amazing, and we've got some pictures up from that.
I need like a whole pile of potatoes something after all of this. I feel like the Blacklist has drained all of the carbs from my body.
Yeah, we have a review up of this episode. There was a lot of confusion going on over here, maybe with you guys too, but definitely check that out too. But I mean, one of the things that we had a question about before we saw the promo was kind of, where is Liz going? Is she even going to be in the country anymore? We saw her on a plane with Agnes and Skip, and who knows where they're going with their $35 million, which, I don't know if she took all of Reddington's money, but I really hope that that's not the case, because $35 million for a vast criminal empire, I mean, it's as much as Logan Paul makes in like a year. So I feel kind of weird about that. I feel like that number for Reddington should be so much higher.
That is the first and last time we shall mention Logan Paul on this channel, but you are correct.
Or PewDiePie. PewDiePie makes like double that a year playing Minecraft on YouTube. Reddington's empire and fortune should be so much bigger. When they dropped that number, I was like, that should be pocket change.
What number is PewDiePie on the Blacklist now? Once Reddington finds out about this, it's all over. I'm just saying. But this... Yeah, I don't know where Liz is going. I hope that this is going to be a chance for her to maybe link up to some of the people that Katarina was working with, because this was one of the things that I lost my mind on over this past year, is that Katarina's got like all these cohorts, and clearly she's got some money to pull off like that Steinhill operation. It's like, where is she getting this money? Is Alexander Kirk involved? Is something else going on here? Maybe we can meet Team Katarina and see what that looks like.
Yeah, it would be really interesting to see Liz sort of with that team of people, so that it isn't just Liz on her own is tackling Reddington and all his people and winning at it.
Yeah, it's going to be an opportunity to, I think, sort of expand the universe, show us something new, but also, if you're Liz now and you're out in the world, you give Aram a call. Is Aram going to pick up the phone at this point? Because Aram has just been screwed over by her like so many different times.
Yeah, and if I had to throw a guess out there, my guess would be yes. I mean, we saw at the end of the episode, him and Rustler were both like, listen, we can't work on this anymore because we're both compromised. If she calls us, we're going to help.
That is really where we are. I feel like Agent Park is probably the only one of them that has like any degree of just like, I don't know, clear cut and dryness with this situation.
Because even Cooper was like, me too.
Yeah, notice Park wasn't in there. It's because Park is too busy getting like the 5 seconds of airtime she's getting every episode at the moment. I do feel bad. It's like she's so new. She doesn't have the experience with Liz as some of these other people.
It's true. I mean, it's really kind of sucks that she came in at this point where it's more of less of the Blacklister of the week and more of this huge arc that really brings in the whole team that have known her for a really long time. It does leave Park just kind of in the wind.
I do think there might be a little more old school Blacklist coming up over the next few weeks, and we'll get a little bit more into that with the synopsis. But first, the The Freelancer, which, okay, can I nitpick with all of you guys?
Let's do it.
All right, we're 5 minutes into a Blacklist preview after we made a huge, elaborate, is Tom alive tinfoil hat theory, so I feel like this is safe ground, okay?
Yeah, if you sat with us through that, you can sit through this. Here we go.
So we had a Blacklister in the pilot, and we saw a lot of that unfold in the pilot. Mm-hmm. And yet, in the promo, they were like, the first Blacklister is coming, but it's like, well, technically, this is episode 2 that the Freelancer is on here, so I don't know if you guys are just talking the first Blacklister that we bothered to name an episode after. Like, is that where we're going here?
Yeah, might be.
The Freelancer, by the way, I think the Blacklister number, and this may actually go very well into your theory from like a week ago that the numbers are complete nonsense.
Oh, they are.
Because his number was not very close to number 1, and like this dude like staged like mass casualty events just to like hide that he was targeting specific people. Like this guy has probably killed more people than almost like every other person on the Blacklist combined.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that the numbers really are just whatever Reddington needs at that point. I mean, Liz, for me, feeling she was never on the Blacklist. Then all of a sudden she's gone from never being on the Blacklist to being number 1 on the Blacklist just because Reddington said so. So, yeah, the numbers are sort of like, oh, I need this guy. He's number 150. Cool.
I'm going to continue the trend here. If we're in a safe spot at this point if you're still watching, so I will make an obscure reference no one will get, but it'll make me happy.
I said Logan Paul in this video, so you know.
The rules of the Blacklist are like Calvin Ball. You just change them however you go along, and it is all okay. Okay, but we do see in the promo, it looks like, I don't know if the Freelancer's on trial or something's going down there.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, do you want to share with everyone the nickname you have for the lawyer that we saw briefly?
Yeah, the lawyer kind of looked like Saul Goodman a little bit. He had kind of the side hair. Because there was this scene in the promo where it looked like the Freelancer was talking to somebody. You could only see the back of their amazing hair, and that was what I thought.
Freelancer may need Saul Goodman because how else is this guy going to get out of jail? Why is this guy even having a hearing? Because it seems like I feel like this is just you don't need to have any discussion here. You just lock him away and you never speak of him again.
Yeah.
Here's where things get tricky is that John Bokenkamp and John Eisendrath, the executive producers, they did an interview earlier this week with Entertainment Weekly. And one of the things that they said that was fascinating is that Liz is going to be sort of flipping in a way the pattern that we've seen on this show. And she's going to be kind of working to align herself with Blacklisters rather than just seeing her and the task force take them down.
Which makes a lot of sense. I mean, if she's now got a lot of money, access to a lot of money. She's got her daughter. She's kind of hidden out right now. She's not working with the task force. So she is going to need some allies. And all she really has is Skip, who's done all that he can really do at this point. So, I mean, she's going to need to start to build up her own army. And who better than people that Reddington has screwed over?
This is a very, very true point. And as much as I want to see, ultimately, someone just smack Skip upside the head, I mean, at this point, that would do a lot of good. I'm not a fan. I'm sorry, Skip. You're just not doing it for me. You screwed over Gerard. Gerard needs to smack you upside the head. I feel so bad for him. But, I guess the Freelancer would be a good person to align with and that he's incredibly dangerous. But I think there's also moral lines and, there's gotta be a lower level Blacklister you can work with who has not murdered as many people as the Freelancer.
But Liz wants to murder Red, so I mean this makes sense. If you're gonna go after somebody to bring in as sort of like an ally or try to figure out a way and pay them to orchestrate some giant horrible murder, then this is the guy.
Well, there's seemingly another Blacklister in this episode as well. So maybe that's where we still have a chance that the Freelancer isn't who Liz is going to work with. I'm still kind of worried about it. But according to the synopsis, the task force is investigating an organization of bank robbers who have a special expertise of stealing from other criminals, which technically hasn't Liz already done this now?
Yeah, she pretty much has. This is kind of like Dexter Morgan, but for stealing instead of murder.
I feel like the Blacklist, we've done a lot of these. Here is a criminal organization that hides you from other criminals or that targets other criminals. And now we're getting into, they're stealing stuff from other criminals.
Yeah.
if we're assuming Reddington probably has a lot more assets out there beyond the money that Liz stole, that this could be a group she would want to work with if she's like, okay, my next order of business, I'm going to take this, that, and the other from Reddington as well. And Skip, you've only done so much, and because you're not that great, I need to get somebody else involved here.
No, I agree. I think that one of the things that she could go after if she can't get to Reddington right away, because now he knows that she's coming after him, is to weaken him financially. And I like to think that 35 million, again, is not all that he has, that maybe she does need to tap into someone who can steal from criminals and start to dwindle away his fortune.
I think it's going to be fun over these next few weeks to sort of see, like, how much are we going to get of Liz working with other familiar characters, because they shouldn't want to work with her. And then also, if you're Reddington, how much do you and the task force work together? Because if you're Reddington, you're trying to take down Liz. And as we've already seen, this task force kind of sucks at taking down Liz because they're compromised.
Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to sort of see this script flipped, where it's like it used to be, Liz and the team, and then Reddington and his own crew, where we may see Liz with more of Reddington's either crew or people that he put away, and now Reddington is really just going to be depending on the task force.
As shocked as I am that, like, Liz got every single thing she wanted in this past episode, which I still am very surprised by.
I agree.
At least we're not entering next week's episode thinking that Dimbe is going to die, which is where I was for like a good 2 days after last week. Yeah,
you were. I didn't like it when you said that one bit. One bit.
No, we're all better now. We can all take some deep breaths.
0 out of 10 on that idea.
I'm really glad to be wrong sometimes. That's all I'm saying. But okay, well, what do you guys want on the Blacklist Season 8, Episode 5? Does Reddington need more money than PewDiePie? And also, Reddington, apparently, if you need to make more money, just stream Minecraft, because there's a lot of money in that. But let us know your theories in the comments. And if you like this video, subscribe, give us a like, support us further. We've got links to the store or Patreon. We'll see you here next time.